I was living in Frisco at this point in time, and my chick bounced, went back to Michigan, and I'm following her. So I moved to Chicago, right? From Frisco, just to be a little closer to see if I can keep that fire going, right? And I said, hey, why don't we go to Philly, you know? She's like, all right. So her and her friend, we got in a car and we drove to Philadelphia. Me and a couple dudes went to go get some weed. And so I told her to meet me at Love. And when we got back to Love, her and her friend were like bugged out. We were like, what's going on? She's like, you see those fucking guys over there? And there was like 7 or 8 dudes. And she's like, yeah, they were fucking pulling their dicks out and like giving us a hard time, her and her girlfriend. So Stevie was like, what dudes?
I had a lot of homies that would rob a lot of people that came to Love Park, you know?
Yeah.
So we chilling at Love Park one day, and my man was about to rob Josh. And I was like, no, he cool, don't worry about him, like, he good. You know, when Josh came over to sit down, I introduced him to everybody, and he was like, damn, it ain't, like, where's everybody at? I'm like, no, this is our park now.
The dudes had knives in their backpack. Stevie and them fucking took their knives off them and like, the fuck out of here. So Olivia saw that like brotherhood, you know what I mean? She was like, damn, these are your dogs, man. Like, yeah, I'm down to move back.
And your daughter is with her?
Yes, yeah, that's my baby mama.
Hey. Mommy and daughter right there.
Coming to theaters.
Come over, sneeze.
Yeah, bring home. He's a good dad. They lived up the street from Love. They lived like 6-7 blocks away. So Olivia would come down with Jalen every now and then. I have tons of footage of her down there.
Of course, brings them right to the Love. She's probably like a few months old here, if that, and now she's like 11 now. So I think she was born in '99.
She fell in love with it because I fell in love with it. I mean, I used to skate Philly before then, but this time it was like, wow. I mean, it's not very many people are skating. I ran into Stevie, who was like fucked up in a bus stop. And I was like, man, this is where I want to be.
I was in the train station drinking a 40 with my man on the corner, and Josh pops up, like basically like, yo, I got an apartment here, I want you to live with me. And I'm like, yeah, right. But he was serious. He was like, damn, I wish you skated a little bit more. And I was like, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm here every day, but I don't skate no more, really.
So you had already quit profile and all that shit?
I ain't have shit, yeah.
So
I quit everything.
You quit
No, I got kicked off everything, basically, yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was wilding, like I was like just some street nigga that just didn't really take my skill serious. And it took Josh to like smack me in the head like, though, yo, you. And I'm staying with him, he getting big ass boxes of DCs and free shit. He got all this money every time I turn around, he's buying a new car, and I didn't even have a license. And he knew that, but he just wanted to make sure that I was situated and I maximized the potential that I had. And that's why I love him, you know, that's my heart right there.
Yeah, Steve. Go.
And he helped me get back skating by battling me. And like I said, it's somebody that knows you, that could pull your skill out of you and actually see you shine. And, you know, I give Josh a lot of credit for the rebirth of my career.
Growing up there, that's who any kid in that area looked up to, you know what I mean? Like, I would go skating and I wouldn't have any laces in my shoes, you know what I mean? Like, and tongues would be out, and, you know, we were all, anybody that said that was from that area and that said they weren't a huge Stevie Williams fan is a goddamn liar. And he was so Philadelphia, you know what I mean? That, like, you could see it just, like, pouring out of him, you know?
Josh at Love Park and Stevie at Love Park, yeah, those were the days. I remember, like, rolling up there with Josh and being cool with Stevie right away, and, like, yeah, seeing that whole era go down was definitely, like, one of the best scenes in skateboarding ever. Just, like, plaza in the city, locals everywhere, like, super fun to skate, like, the best stuff you can imagine to skate, and these two kids just ruling it.
You know, that's right around the time my back was out. I couldn't skate for
a long time, and that's, you know, when those two started blowing up Love on their level, you know, was around that time period.
After the Eastern Exposure, you know, Ricky's movement and that whole crew of people, it was fading out, and then Josh just revamped the whole thing, him and Stevie. And then that brought, you know, more light to the O'Connors and the Plahowskis and the Papalardos and Wennings and stuff, you know, like he really brought together this movement, you know, they were all teammates, you know, whether it was DC or the workshop, and Josh was always just so prominent there, you know, it was like always filming something super hard, always like, just, you know, he was killing it, man. Dude skated really fast and did really hard tricks and was super unique, and like, you know, it was always super consistent, you know, the same way he skates now is just as hard as he shredded back then, you know. At the time, there wasn't, you know, a skateboarder, a pro at the time that me being like a little hip-hop honky was like more identifiable with than Josh Kalis, you know. The raddest thing was there wasn't a kid that came downtown that didn't have some DCs on with swooshy pants and a fucking DC jersey or a workshop t-shirt, and like, every kid, you know.
It turned into a thing when Josh started like skating a lot, like real hard, and like wanted to film all the time, take photos all the time, and then a lot of people started wanting to come to a lot of people wanted to come to Philly. There was just so many people. Like it went from like not many at all to like so many that it was like I was filming all day long and then like go out at night with generators. But I wanted to. I liked it. Everyone wanted to do it. We knew that something was going on, and we wanted to keep it going, and we wanted to make it bigger.
Come on, put the board down. Teammate. Oh shit, you broke up another board. Brian Winning, our new AM. How many boards you got at the house, Brian? 0. You got some. 3. You got 3. He sent them 3 boards. Welcome to the team. Ah! Yeah. This mug can never break the board. That was so good. Nah, I look like a sucker because I fucked up. But I'm gonna get him now.
Brian and Anthony were here every day, like doing stuff. So it was like that. Everyone was doing stuff. Well, if I wasn't filming somebody do something here, I was filming somebody do something over there. I was here every single day. Every single day. Skate down here, and I would just hang out with everyone. It was wild. And there's a lot of people that were there that no one will ever know that were like the staples.
I'd rather see them skateboard than running around trying to stab somebody, trying to take something from somebody.
But there's a whole cast of characters that made up that place.
Beat niggas.
Hey man, I used to skate. You remember you used to see me out here? I used to skate hard as shit before. That's when I didn't know you. I used to do acid. Hey look, was you out here when I tried to 5-0 that? I swear I had that shit spark and I could never land it.
Like you've seen, you know, Stevie and Josh and all these guys. There was a crew of hoodlums, and there was a crew of like
derelicts, just
like bombs that bone. And there was like also the cops were part of it, and then you know, Josh knew all the undercovers. He was so boys with them, like he would give them his shoe.
You would hear stories like Josh ran into the undercovers on South Street and he went and took them all to Elite and put DCs on all of her feet. So they would run in and you'd be like, I remember sitting there one day like, why is this guy not even running? You know, I'm freaking out. Like here he had like all the undercovers in his pocket. They all had his shoes on.
These are the shoes I skated in with Chomp on this. So remember these?
And I was just so proud of that video part. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna keep these shoes. Like, Josh's shoes are so sick.
I think these were Stevie's.
That was that era for Josh and Stevie. It was a black-white combo. You know, everybody know he looked out for me. And me and him had DC that made us, put us on that pedestal.
This is right when Kalis and Stevie were both getting their shoes out for DC. And so like, at the time they both lived in Philly, so I would go out there in '99 and 2000, pretty much the whole summer I'd spent at Love Park. So this is just a photo from the first summer I really spent a lot of time out there, was in '99.
Should we go to Love Park?
And the thing is Josh and Stevie, they combined their skill with that symbol and made something I don't think I'll ever see again in skating, as for a long time at least. But like it was everything. It was like the board had the love sign on it, and then there was a photo with everyone in front of the love sign. It's like you do that, and then people from all over the world, all of a sudden people from Germany are showing up to skate there, and like from all over. It's like an attractive spot.
And at that time, I was going to New York every weekend to skate with RB, because like the weekend warriors would come to Love. It'd be like 100 kids.
Came to visit me in New York one time, and I remember people were like clowning me for like meeting up with Josh. Like, oh, why are you filming him, man? You should be filming the guys from New York. Like, I'm like, dude, that's Josh. He's my boy from Texas. Like, I'm gonna film him, you know? And it was really easy to film with Josh. Like, he always just like did something good and never really took that long at the time for me, you know? Because I was used to filming like certain skaters for a long time, like lucky to get like going back every day for a trick, and luckily getting like one trick a week with this guy. But with Josh, it was super organic. We'd just go to a spot and be like, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that. And it always came out dope, you know? And then I don't know if it was in Heads or if it was in, I think it might have been in Photosynthesis maybe, but he did a line at Newport with just a fakie flip on flat. And I just remember this fakie flip he did on flat I was like, yeah, that's how you fakie flip. You gotta fakie flip like you mean it.
This one time I went to Josh's, I went to his mother's house out in, where is it? Out in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, near
Pennsylvania?
Near like Sesame Place. Or...
I went out there and he was skating on he had a board on a trampoline. Have you ever seen him do that?
Yeah, that trampoline.
Have you ever seen him do the board on the trampoline?
Yes,
it's psycho. Yeah. He can do like every trick, variation. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And I feel like when he skates, he does those tricks like he's bouncing off the trampoline. It's like he ollies and then taps it in like in the littlest parts, and it'll like flip the right way.
The cans, like the bump over the trash cans, you know, the tricks that he did over them were like unfathomable. Like, how do you even pop your board over that thing? First of all, like, if you fall, those trash cans aren't giving at all. Speaking of Rick, I remember one day saying to Josh, like, dude, you own those trash cans. And he goes, no, Jimmy, like, that's not me, you know, Rick set that off. And I just kind of like followed suit, you know.
I think that he was so stoked on Ricky's thing that he's like, dude, I want to do stuff over those things. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the things about Love. You would have to like pry those fucking tiles up.
Yeah, they're so hard.
And like, you would have like 3-4 kids sticking their boards in the crack on each side and prying it, and then it would get up, and as soon as it got up, kids would sit down and wait and just watch to see who would go over it.
This is Love Part. This is some funny ass shit, this story. So when Love like got the fence put around it and they shut the fucking place down, this crackhead used to come in front of my house. He'd knock on the door and be like, hey, you need your fucking sidewalk swept for $1 or something? I was like, I tell you what, man, I give you $1,000 if you go over there and get me one of them tiles. It's got to be an original, either the maroon or the gray. And he was like, consider it done. 3 days later, fucking dude had it in the shopping cart. I was like, what? How the fuck did you get that? He's like, that's my problem. Fucking drove him to the bank, took out a G, boom.
Whose signatures are those?
Those are like probably Rasul or Jason or something like that.
He told me never to come back in here, even though this is a public park.
Okay,
They were always stiff on skating downtown, but they kind of like tolerated it, and then it got so bad, and then when they put the fences up and remodeled and everything, you know, it was like they just stuck a knife right into like the lung of the skateboard community, you know. Shit just deflated, you know. You could just walk in that place and like you like tingled, you know what I mean? Like it just made you skate better being there, you know. I remember being there a couple years afterwards and being like, fuck, man, this is like difficult. What happened? Like we used to have so much life down here, and now it's like super depressing. I remember being young, being like bummed, like, oh man, these guys just come to the city and then they fucking move. Like, you know, when I got older, I understood, like, yeah, you got to keep it moving, you know, you got to go to another. That's why Plahowski and Popular, these guys took off and went to other cities, you know.
The downtown style culture seems dead. Like nobody gives a shit about going downtown because they don't want to I don't know if it's they don't want to deal with it, or there just isn't as many like inner city kids. I don't know what the deal is, but in Barcelona, it's like still city vibe, you know? The first time I went to Sans, because Makba is cool, but it's like the tourist spot. Sans was more like the, you know, they had their squad. And when I got there, it was spray painted on the wall that said, "Go home." And I knew the story behind "Go home." And it was talking about Americans, like, fucking quit coming here and filming. So like, I went there and I fucking introduced myself, and they were all sitting on their table. I was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Josh, man. Like, you know, give a shit if I skate around for a little while, do you? Maybe film some shit." And they were like, "Raul," he says in some super broken English, he was like, "Josh, you are a plaza skater, and we are plaza skaters. Like, feel free." And I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So I felt welcome, and they welcomed me in like that. Coolest dudes, man. Coolest dudes. And Ruben Garcia, you know, he's like the fucking man over there, you know? The vibe is like late 90s, US vibe, plaza vibe, like city vibe. You hang out all day in one spot. And the reason why you filmed it is because or the reason why I filmed it is because I just loved the day. I love being with my friends. I love the spot. I'm gonna film on it. It's kind of hard to explain. It's more of just a feeling, and that's the kind of feeling that I like to skate with. I like to film, the more the merrier. If I go to the spot with 10 dudes and get kicked out in 5 minutes, I'd rather do that than like go on secret missions just so I can like try to get this trick. Like I don't really dig that, you know? And that's kind of how, at least in the pro skating world, it's gone. It's been like that for a few years. And Spain is just like to get away from that. I don't give a shit if my footage doesn't look as good. I don't care if it's not like with the best A-list filmer and all that shit. Like I really don't care. If I'm with my homies, we're having a good time and everyone's skating, that's what I want to film. I want to be a part of that shit, you know?